Suspicious husband, 5 agonies of a beautiful wife. Hi friends, welcome to Marriage Realities, a comprehensive relationship channel. Today's video is about the anguish a wife suffers when she is married to a suspicious husband who suspects her for her beauty. When you're beautiful and married to a very mediocre looking husband, he feels very less about himself. And your husband makes your relationship nightmarish, traumatic and nerve-wracking. You literally hate your married life because your husband suspects you because you're too beautiful compared to his very ordinary looks and personality. Yes, when your suspicious husband is no match to your looks, he develops immense inferiority complex. Your husband feels he is no match to you in looks or personality. When people admire your beauty openly and talk in a low tone that your husband is no match to your looks, your suspicious husband notices it. He feels even lesser and more inferior. Your suspicious husband makes your relationship stressful and oppressive by having all sorts of doubts about you. His mediocre personality makes him paranoid with suspicion when your good looks attract the attention of the opposite sex. His interaction with you is always very questioning and probing. Your husband asks you a million questions about your male colleagues, friends, relatives. When you're late from work, you're confronted by his doubting questions. A clear sign that your husband is very suspicious about you. Your married life turns into a terrifying experience of being spied upon by your suspicious husband. I cannot dress beautifully when I go out as my husband is very doubting and suspicious, my friend's daughter tearfully told me. Why, dear? I asked the young girl. I'm beautiful and my husband is very ordinary looking. He always had this complex about his looks. People compare our looks wherever we go. This has given my husband tremendous inferiority complex. He feels he's no match to me. He has now become very suspicious about me as he feels I'm on the lookout for good-looking men. The poor girl was rightfully depressed about a suspicious husband. When I dress neatly, my husband does not like it a wee bit. He screams at me that I'm all dressed up because I'm seeing someone. Whenever I talk with my male colleagues on the phone, my husband shamelessly eavesdrops. He asks me many probing questions to clarify his suspicions. The doubting nature of my husband makes me hate my married life, my friend's daughter wept. Why did the young girl's husband behave in such a doubting manner? This sort of suspicious behavior is very predominant in a man who does not have a great personality and is married to a very beautiful girl. All hell breaks out if the girl is social and friendly with her male colleagues. To a suspicious husband, it is nothing less than an illicit affair. When your husband is suspicious because of your beauty, it almost always stems from him having complexity about his very mediocre looks. Your beauty makes your suspicious husband feel very inferior compared to you. He feels you're way too good looking for him. And your husband is forever suspicious that you will leave him for a more good looking man. Here are your agonies when you are a beautiful wife married to a mediocre looking and suspicious husband. The agony number 1 is you cannot dress as you wish. When you dress neatly for your workplace, your suspicious husband makes you unhappy by making derogatory comments about your dressing. Your husband passes degrading comments that you dress improperly with the intention of attracting your male colleagues. Your husband runs his eyes over you insolently, saying you're exposing too much of your skin. The agony number 2 is your suspicious husband degrades you by suspecting your professional friendship. You cannot have a normal professional interaction with your male colleagues. You cannot have innocent conversation with your male friends, relatives without your suspicious husband asking you provocative questions about the status of your friendship. You feel embarrassed when you run into your colleagues when you're out with your husband because of his probing stare and morose silence. After your colleague has gone, your husband comments that your conversation was too personal. He has the audacity to say that your colleague was staring at inappropriate places of your body. You literally want to yell at your husband to mind his language and stop being so suspicious. The agony number 3 is your husband spies on your whereabouts. You cannot go anywhere without your husband spying on you. You get tons of messages from your husband asking about whom you are talking with. Your suspicious husband often pays surprising visit to your workplace just to verify you're working and not having fun behind his back. You literally cringe in shame. The number 4 agony is you cannot be late from work. When you're late from work, your husband works himself into a frenzied suspicion. It is because he feels that it is a sly outing with your boyfriend which kept you late. The interaction of a husband is almost always very probing and very hurting to your self-respect. When you're loyal to your husband, you're infuriated by his suspicious nature, aren't you? The number 5 agony is you cannot be a normal self. You cannot have normal interaction with the opposite sex without your husband feeling suspicious. You cannot dress normally without your husband making nasty comments. You cannot have normal outings with your friends without being flooded by suspicious calls from your husband. Your mobile phone is checked suspiciously by your husband. Social media activities are spied. All these makes you wonder whether you can have normal life like anyone else. How should you handle your suspicious husband? You need tons of patience. You must accept the fact that your husband has inferiority complex. You should make your husband understand that his appearance is not a hindrance to your love and care for him. Do not make needless comments about the ordinary looks of your husband. He will become even more suspicious. Do not tell your husband about the comparisons made by your friends, colleagues, relatives. Be very natural and friendly with your inferiority-plagued husband. Your friendliness and care can make your husband forget his drawbacks. You should boost up his confidence by appreciating what he is good at. Appreciation can work wonders in making your husband come out of his shell of inadequacy. Is your suspicious husband talented in painting, singing, or any art? Boost up his shattered ego by appreciating his talent. Make your husband feel good by talking about what he is good at. Do not overshadow your husband by dressing to the kill whenever you go out. Your husband will feel washed out before you. Do not make fun of the very ordinary looks of your husband. Even a small innocuous comment about the appearance of your husband is enough to make him feel very lacking. You too should not feel that you have married a person who is no match to your beauty. It affects your married life in the worst possible way. Appearance is just a visual treat and has no real contribution to your marital happiness. Make your husband feel your love. It needs immense willpower on your part to handle your suspicious husband. Lack of good looks makes your suspicious husband feel that he is not your worthy partner. This is the topmost reason why your husband works himself to hysterical doubts about you. You're not unlucky if you marry an ugly and colorless personality. You're only unlucky when your suspicious husband makes your married life cheerless and gloomy by his doubting nature. Did this video make you understand that suspicion can also stem from inferiority complex? Marriage Realities will have many such relationship eye-openers. Subscribe to my channel to understand your marriage in a new light. Press the bell icon to get updates about my latest relationship building videos. Thank you for watching.